Here today at J-Tech, and we're going to be talking about how to take a tire off of a rim and put a new tire on. So the first step is going to be to take the core out of the valve stem of the tire. Get that up where you don't lose it. As the air is coming out, we're going to go ahead and bring it over to the shovel where we are going to pop our bead. We're going to run there, and here, pop the bead on this side. Keep in mind to keep your valve stem away from that in case you have a TPMS sensor so you don't destroy that. So then we're just going to come over here to the other side. Pop this bead. There we go. Put this on top. Make sure the tire's nice and locked in. Now when you're taking the tire off, you want to make sure your valve stem is over on this side so when you bring your head over, you're not going to destroy your TPMS sensor. So we're going to bring this down, over. Adjust that into place. We're going to grab our bar. There we go. Onto the first lip. Rotate it on. We're going to do the same thing to the bottom. That's how you get the tire off of the rim. So once you get the tire off, the next step is to put the new tire on. For the sake of this, we're just going to reuse the old tire here. The first thing you're going to want to do is get some tire grease. You're going to want to lube up the beads here, so that way it seals properly and slips onto the rim easier. Get that in there. Most tires have an inside and an outside. One easy way to determine the outside is the DOT number on the sidewall of the tire here. So that's going to be the outside. When putting your tire on, you want to start on the side that has the valve stem in case it has a TPMS and you don't destroy that. So we're just going to get this first bead on. And we're going to bring this over here. We're going to go over the back and under the front. Like that. And then we're just going to walk it around.
Push it down. That's right here.
Just like that. So then we're going to bring our valve stem around. We're going to hook our air hose up to it. Air it up. You'll hear two pops. That's both the beads setting into place. We're going to get our core ready for our valve stem. And we're going to air this up to a little bit above 32 pounds. So when we take the air hose off and lose the air before putting our stem back in. So now we have our valve stem back in and it's nice and tight. We're going to hook our air hose back up. And we are just a little bit above 32. So there's 32 right there. So all we have to do is release our tire. We're good to go. Thank you very much. So after you mount the tire, the next step is to balance the tire, so that way you won't feel any vibrations while you're driving down the road and you'll have a nice smooth drive. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look at our hub bore in the center of the wheel, and we're going to want to find our spacer that fits the best in this. See, this one, it fits about halfway in, but it doesn't go all the way to the ridge. So this is the one we're going to use. We're just going to slide it on here like this. And we're going to bring our tire, put it up on there, and use this to tighten the tire and the wheel onto the balance machine. You want to make sure it's nice and tight so that your wheel doesn't slip and give you false readings. Okay, so we got our tire tightened to our balance machine. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our weight setup. So we're going to be putting weights on the outside edge of the wheel, and we're going to road force balance this wheel as well. What the road force does is it applies 1,200 pounds to the tire to represent the weight of the vehicle, so that way you get a more accurate balance to the tire. So everything's set up. We're just going to go ahead and close this hood here, and it's going to tell us that we need to make sure that the tire pressure is set to spec. So we'll hook that up, and it says it's good. So now we're going to close this. See, now the roller is going to engage to the wheel. This is what the road force balance does. Okay, so now you can see that on the outside it is calling for 1 ounce and a quarter, and then on the inside here it's going to call for 1 ounce. So we already have our weights picked out here. We have 1 ounce and 1 ounce and a quarter weight. So the first one we're going to do, we're going to work on the inside with our 1 ounce weight here. And we're just going to take this and straight up from the center of the wheel. We're going to hammer that one on there. So we're just going to go ahead and get position for our 1.25. Once we get the weights put on, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel again to make sure that it balances out. Okay, so as you can see, since we put the 2 weights on, it's still going to call for 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce. So after we spin it and we see it be 1 ounce and 1 ounce and a quarter, we're going to take our weights here and drop one of them. And we're going to put the 1 ounce and a quarter on the outside. Like that. And we're going to take this ounce weight. It's calling for the ounce on the inside. We're just going to go ahead and close through it, and we're going to spin it again. That means that the tire is balanced and our road force is at 17, which is not too bad, but eventually it's probably going to get a little worse and need replacing. So that is how you properly balance a tire. Thank you. Cole Fuller here today at J-Tech. Today we're going to be talking about rotating some tires on this specific vehicle. We are just going to simply rotate the front tires to the back and then take the back tires and put them where the fronts are. Normally when you're rotating tires at the end, you would want to torque them to spec, but today, since I am just by myself for training purposes, I'm just going to put the tires back on with an impact. So the first step, we're just going to take the tires off. Make sure you keep track of your lug nuts because you don't want to be losing those. And we're going to take this tire. We're going to roll this to the back with us. And we're just going to take this back tire off. Once again, make sure you put your lugs up so you don't lose them. This tire. This tire's gonna get moved to the front.
No, you put these on and it'll go close. You'll take the wheel shocks off and you'll roll it back. It'll tell you I don't use this.
Always hand start your lugs because you don't want to cross thread them. If you cross thread them, you can rip a stud off of your hub. There's that one. We're going to go ahead and put the back tire on. And then we're just going to use our impact gun. I'm going to put it on setting 2 so that way I don't over torque these. Normally you would go in a star pattern. And then we're just going to top down front. Basically, you would just go over to the other side, replicate that same thing, and then your tires would all be rotated. Thank you.